Hey guys, it's Andrew Esquivel here, back with another review. And sorry I look a little crazy with my hair right now. I haven't been getting much good sleep, but that's why I'm doing a review on a CPAP mask once again. Now, I've been through a number of CPAP masks. I've been trying to find the one that works for me. So far, I still need to do a little more research. Now, I'm going to be doing a review on the Mirage Liberty from ResMed. Now, let me just say, I really wanted to like this mask for a number of reasons. And I'm going to go over said reasons, but I'm also going to tell you why this mask doesn't work for me. So, the Mirage Liberty is considered a hybrid mask because it is technically a full face mask, but it uses nasal pillows, or nasal cushions, whatever you want to call them, instead of a piece that goes over your nose. Now, this is great for a number of reasons. One of them being is it's not cumbersome. It doesn't block your vision, and best of all, you don't have the leakage issues up near your nose like you do on the regular full face masks, and you don't have to deal with the itchiness of a full face mask. Because let's face it, anyone who's worn a full face mask constantly knows it can get itchy right around your nose. And then you'll try to scratch the itch and then break the seal, and then you have to refit everything to make it work again. It's not Gusta. So, as far as the nasal pillows go, as long as you get the right size, it doesn't pop out, and it has a good seal. Now, as far as the nasal pillows go, there's small, medium, and large. As far as the mask itself goes, the part that goes over your mouth, there's only a small and a large. From what I'm told, the small is really small. Like, I've got a Mirage Quattro, something like that, from ResMed. I did a review on it not too long ago, and the medium was way too big. So the small is the one I need for that, but a small on this is way too small. So keep in mind that ResMed's sizing is like per mask. It's not general like a pair of pants. So getting the right one is crucial. And what's really good about this mask is if you need a full face and you sleep on your side, it's a good mask. Because when you have it on and you're sleeping, since it's not big and cumbersome, your pillow doesn't push up on the mask, breaking your seal. It has a good seal. But despite all of that, it has a fatal flaw. And that is, unfortunately, with the nasal pillows. And here's the flaw. The nasal pillows are like trying to breathe through a straw while running. So, if you've ever put on a gas mask, like an NBC gas mask, you'll know that you have negative pressure, meaning you kind of have to force the air through a filter into the mask and then into your lungs. That's what it feels like when you wear this thing, trying to breathe through your nose. It feels like wearing a gas mask, not a CPAP mask. A CPAP is supposed to provide you with positive pressure. When you breathe through this, it feels like you're essentially using negative pressure. And it's annoying, because then you start to feel asphyxiated, and you're gasping for air if you're trying to breathe through your nose, and then you start breathing through your mouth. As this is a hybrid mask, if you want to breathe right, it forces you to hybridize the way you breathe, which is not the way it should be. You don't want to breathe through your mouth and your nose just so you can breathe. And you don't want to breathe through just your mouth, because that's what these are for. You're supposed to be able to kind of choose depending on your situation. And that's why I've wanted to like this so much, but I just can't seem to use it right. I have used it for a number of days now, and I can already tell it's going to be a problem. I can put on any other CPAP mask that covers the nose that doesn't use nasal pillows and breathe absolutely fine. These, it's just almost impossible. Now, granted, these are size small pillows, but that shouldn't affect the way you breathe when you're going through your nose. And another thing, it can be very loud. And I'm not talking about the exhalation valves on the left and right. I'm talking about when you breathe in and breathe out through the nose, it's loud, and sometimes it makes a squeaking noise. It gets very annoying. If you're the kind of person who has to have dead silence to sleep, this is definitely not the mask for you. Now, you may have noticed that it's got this hose. Well, you have to use this. And that may or may not be an issue to some people, because like me, I've got a heated tube. So the tube is heated all the way up until here. Now, it doesn't really make too much of a difference, but it might be one of those things where people are like, it's kind of annoying. I'm going to put on the mask, but first I'm going to break it down for you. So this is the part that connects into your tube, right here. Up here on the joints, the angled piece, is your quick disconnect. You clamp down on here, and it disconnects. Now you notice this one's a little different. It's kind of got like a tube inside of a tube, and your anti-asphyxiation valve is right here. Now we have the mask. As for the nasal pillows, you just push down, and you'll see that it comes out. And if I push down again, see the nasal pillows just come out. And you've got the mask. To disconnect the top part of the head assembly, or the anchoring system for your headgear, I should say, it's really easy. You just kind of push forward, and sometimes it's a little fussy, sometimes it's not, and it just disconnects. Now sometimes it comes off real easy like that, and that could be a problem for some people. It might disconnect at that part, but it's actually more likely to disconnect right here. Now on the head assembly, or the headgear connection, clips in. And it clips in nice and easy, but that's the flaw, is the fact that it clips in nice and easy. You see, you want it to be secure. A secure connection oftentimes is just not convenient, but sometimes you have to take away your convenience for the sake of the reliability of the product. ResMed loves to use these quick disconnect features on all of their masks. That's not a good idea. Because it's so easy, you're very prone to, when you're sleeping on your side, to having it disconnect. And it can be disconnected by something as simple as your pillow. Not good, because then you lose pressure, or worse, your mask completely falls off. I can't tell you how many times I've had a ResMed mask fall off because of these connections. Now, I've thought of an idea, and I'd like to pass it on to you guys. You see how this works right here. It's a single piece of plastic, and it goes up and down. Now, if you take a spring from, let's say, a pen, because, you know, the click pens have a spring. If you take that spring, you put it in between these two little parts right here, it'll force the clips to be a little more taut and have a little bit more resistance. And then you can kind of jerry-rig with tape or whatnot to make it work. You shouldn't have to do something like that, but you gotta get creative sometimes. Now, another flaw about ResMed and CPAP masks in general is on the headgear. You have the Velcro straps that allow you to adjust. These Velcro straps are just not good enough. They have a high tendency of coming undone. My solution, or what I'm going to try, is getting like a pin so I can kind of like push the pin in and then screw it down, so that once I find the perfect adjustment for me, I'll have it nice and secure so it can't be changed unless I really want to change it. And I'm going to do that kind of spring kind of mechanism thing I was just talking about and try and keep that secure so I can kind of fix the flaws with the headgear. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to connect the headgear back to the mask. So we kind of just pop that in there. It doesn't really even snap in, per se. There. So that's the parts all popped in. And I'm going to pop these in. Now, one thing I want to note, you notice there's a little tab. See the little tab right here? That actually has to line up with tabs in here. And if you get the mask in, you'll see it. Now, when it's in, there really isn't a right or wrong way to put these in. You just push it through, and then you line up those little tabs. You do that. And of course that piece would kind of fall off while I'm doing this. Just goes to show how insecure those are. And I've actually used other masks with a much more secure system. Much less convenient, but much more secure. I've had better success with those staying on. Okay, so now that the nasal pillows are back in place, and that this piece is back in place, I'm going to put the mask on. And although you won't see it with the positive pressure, I'll give you an idea of how loud this can be. Now, putting it on, they say in the instructions, is like a baseball cap. So first off, you want to line up the nasal pillows with your nose, and then you want to line it up with your mouth. Pull that back, clip in, clip in. Next, once you have all that, when this is attached to your CPAP mask or CPAP machine, put the elbow assembly back on. Okay, so breathing outside of my mouth, not so bad. Now, I'm going to breathe through my nose. Now let's take note of something. Listen how long it takes for me to take a single breath of air, inhaling and exhaling through my mouth. Quick. Now, for breathing through your nose, when you're laying down and relaxing, should be the same amount of time. But listen how long it takes for me to breathe a single breath of air, inhaling and exhaling the same amount of air through the nose. So let's exhale. That's 3 breaths of air. Now let's try and do it with my mouth again. Now, notice that's a huge difference. And although you guys didn't get to hear the squeaking noise, because it can squeak as it comes out and you exhale through your nose, you can tell, and that's with me forcing the air through. Now, you may be thinking to yourself, well, with the CPAP machine on, there's always some sort of positive pressure. Mine is set to anywhere from 5 to 15. Doesn't help at all. And I would know because I've even tried it in mask fit mode, and it's still really hard to breathe through the nose. And that's ultimately the downfall of this mask. Is no matter how much you want it to work, it's just not going to work right. Unless you're a really, really light breather, I can't see this being perfect. It's got so many good things about it. It is a wonderful idea, and it almost works. Just can't get the part that's really crucial. Because for me, I have to use a full face mask for a particular reason. One of my medications has a nasty side effect of causing my nasal passages to become inflamed at the point of which I'm about to fall asleep. It's really annoying, so I have to have a piece for my face or my mouth for when my nostrils become inflamed and I can't breathe through that, so I have an alternative route to breathe through. Well, when I'm laying in bed and that symptom is not quite there yet, I want to breathe through my nose because it's more relaxing. It's easier, for me to do that than keep my mouth open, because I don't like forcing my jaw to stay open. If you ever try to do that, it's annoying. So I want to breathe through my nose. I can't do that with this mask. It just doesn't allow you to do that. In fact, you'd have to be really desperate to breathe through this to begin with. And like I said before, it makes you feel asphyxiated, which is not cool. That's the opposite of what a CPAP mask and machine is supposed to do. It's supposed to help you breathe. This restricts your breathing capability through the nose. All in all, it's a well-built mask and it does work. It's just because of this issue, it makes the mask relatively unusable for me. Because I'm a heavy breather. I snore. And obviously I've got sleep apnea. So it's almost there, not quite. However, there is an alternative option to this mask. There's a mask called the Hybrid from a brand called Inamed. Now, I've heard some people say they prefer that mask. And I want to say this, their securing mechanism for their headgear looks to be much more secure than this one. It's a little more inconvenient, but like I said, sometimes you need to trade conveniency for security and reliability. So that's my spiel, my review of this particular mask. It had good intentions and a good design, but failed miserably in half of the responsibility of what it's trying to do here. Now, if you do want to try it out, because a lot of times your doctor will give you 30 days to find the right mask, try it out. You might like it. Maybe you'll have better success with it than I did. It's a comfortable mask, too. I mean, apart from the hard to breathe thing, the nasal pillows at first take some time to get adjusted to. They say if it's like chapping up your nose here, you can use like some petroleum jelly to kind of like moisturize your nose area. And they said that if you have a beard and a mustache, it can ruin the seal with your face or the mouth. Look at me. I have a mustache. I've got a beard. No issues with the mouth seal, even when I'm laying on my side. And that's the great thing, is when you're laying on your side, there's no leakage, because there's not much mask to push from the pillow to leak. Yeah. If you're thinking about it, that's the information you need to know, be aware of. And I hope you guys found the video informative. I hope you might like the video and comment, rate, subscribe, show your friends, all that good stuff. And as always, guys, thanks for watching.